Hey friends, welcome back to Pediatric Survival Swim. My name is Allison, and today I wanted to hop on real quick before a swim. Yes, I'm in my swimsuit. I wanted to hop on and answer two questions that I got from Instagram Messenger this week about, both of them were actually very related, and I have about a dozen of these questions each year, but I've never had two in the same weekend. So, I wanted to address those, and both of those are very similar, and that they've been working with their child at home on swim. Both of these families have not had survival swim lessons, so they were just asking me what things they can do at home. One is currently enrolled in swim instruction, but not survival swim. And the other one lives in a more rural area, and there is no survival swim instructor in her area. So we were talking a little bit about things she can do, and I just thought it might be easier to make a video. So both of these moms want to know why their child is swimming vertically in the water. So if you've watched any of my videos, you will know that the vertical position is actually the drowning position. So this is the posture that we don't want in the water, and I'm actually going to be using Baby today. This is my daughter's. Let me take her skirt off. And so this is the position that we don't want in the water swimming, because eventually this takes up most of our energy to do, is treading water and using a fair amount of energy and muscle to get to a very short range, short distance. It takes a lot longer to get from here to here, this is being the wall, than it does from here to here. We are not natural swimmers. We really have to work at it. We have to create a technique and muscle memory to sustain swimming and for a good amount of time. So we are not naturally born with that ability to thrive and survive in the water. So these are our tips and tricks that we have to teach ourselves and our children in order to survive. Now remember, drowning is the leading cause of accidental death in children under the age of 5. So it's very important that we're teaching our children these proper swim techniques so that they can be successful in the water, confident in the water, and you can be confident that your child is skilled in the water to create an accident from happening. So both of these moms said that their child looks like she's swimming, well, one's a boy, one's a girl, swimming vertical in the water. There's a couple reasons for that. One, if your baby is jumping in the water and you're catching them, that's a good indicator that your child might be swimming vertically. If your child is wearing a puddle jumper or a life vest in the water, that's creating muscle memory that's going to be in the drowning position. So we don't want that. We want horizontal swimming, not vertical swimming. If your child has not learned to roll and float to get air in the water, instead your child pops up for air. Every time they pop up for air, those legs drop. Those legs drop in the water because your child is not strong enough yet to be able to pop up and go under and still remain horizontal. It takes quite a bit of muscle and leg work to do that. Usually they could probably master this around late 4s, 5s, but anything younger than that, this is almost always going to create a more vertical position in the water. So every time they do that, they're dropping, and it's going to take quite a bit of effort to go from here to here. Now I do teach that in my survival swimming course, to go from vertical position to swim position and vertical position to floating position. Okay, but that's not something you're going to be able to learn in one day, in one lesson, and you're going to have a skilled instructor or be able to have a skilled child to be able to teach that kind of early. If your child, I would definitely recommend teaching your child proper swim position if they are over the age of 14 months. This way they can create proper breath control in the water. If they're younger than that, I teach children as early as 6 months, but proper breath control is key in any situation, or you're not going to be able to receive that skill that you're wanting from the child. If breath control is not instilled, it is not already there, it is not complete, then you need to practice that first. I actually have another video on that somewhere, I believe. So we will, you can take a look back at that to see what you can do first. So if your child has breath control, if your child is over the age of 14 months, you have a pool at home, you have a pool that you can practice in, this is going to be a good video for you to practice. So here is baby. The proper holding position for baby. My babies have quite a bigger chest area, but we're gonna use baby. So arms go up, my hands go up under baby's armpits and onto the breastbone. So when it looks like a normal person, my fingers are gonna touch here, okay? And my thumbs are going to be on the back. Okay, you can do this with verbal cues. You can do this with physical cue as well. It definitely needs to be physical cues, but you get to decide whether or not you want to incorporate the speaking cue as well. So this is ready. This is set, where my fingers are still pressed underneath. And then we're gonna launch under the water and go. So once we say go, there should be a nice shelf, a nice ladder, edge of the pool, something that your baby can easily grab hold of, and just within a few inches. Once you launch, you're going to launch to completion the first couple times before you let your child do it on their own. So you want to be successful with it. You want to give praise. Your child may cry a couple times, and that's okay. That's okay. They're learning a new skill, and a lot of times babies are used to playing in the water. They're not used to working in the water. So we want to get a nice balance going of work and play so they are successful and healthy all the way around. So this is ready, this is set, and go. So sometimes when I have head poppers in my class that are constantly doing this and not wanting to put their face in, you kind of use your fingers here to push down onto their shoulder blades, and that's going to keep them in a more swim position a couple times. Once they get into the routine, you're not gonna waterboard them or anything. It's gonna be nice and slow, one at a time, some space in between, some time to reflect, and then do it again. Ready, set, and go. And then their legs will naturally come up. Don't let them, if you're going to the step, don't let them put their feet first, okay? Feet last, hands first. Once they touch, you can assist in the pickup if you need to, but try to let them figure it out a little bit. You can hold their hips back here. Holding their hips will create those legs up in a more swim-like position that you're wanting. So ready, set, go. And once you release, hands go here to the hips and they go to the wall. Now, once you're successful with this a couple times, let them do it over and over as much as they want. And once you're confident that they're going to get it, probably 3 or 4 times in a row, I want you to back up a little bit and create a little more distance. Now, when I say back up, I mean don't back up a whole pool length. Don't back up even, a meter. I want you to back up inches, inches, inches. Successful, successful, successful. Back up inches. If not successful, move closer some inches. You want them to be able to build that confidence. So you can't rush it. This may take several times in the pool to be successful with. So once you're to the wall and or to the steps and they complete it every time in this horizontal position, then you can teach them to come to your hand. So in the swim world, we say that 3 things mean air. The float, number 1, means air. If they're by themselves and can't get to the side of the pool, then they need to rely on their float. If we're in the pool, they can reach for our hand. Our hand means air. And the 3rd thing is the steps, the side of the wall, something that is attached to the pool that they can properly pull up and get a breath for. 3 things mean air. Not popping of the head, that doesn't count. That's not a float. So 3 things. Because remember, when you pop that head up, those legs come down, and we don't want that. So once your child is successful launching to the step, to the wall, to the ladder, and can swim a nice reasonable distance, then we can turn them around and they can receive our hand. So your child should never, ever, ever be under the water for more than 5 seconds. And I'm not talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it takes a second or two for the child to really work out and figure out what they need to do to create a successful swim. And that's okay. So if your child ever does not complete a swim, there are 2 ways that you can pick them up. You can pick them up under the arms, or you can pick them up by the hands and lift them up and then underneath. Now you don't want to jerk because you don't want that nurse's elbow. So just lift them up out of the water and then secure. Okay, secure. All right, so when presenting hand targets, a lot of times when I do teach this to my swim moms and dads after, or grandparents even, after the child has successfully completed my survival swim course, they know what to do. I always teach this to the parent because sometimes the parent can create some bad habits in the water with their child when they're swimming during outside of my class. So the child's ready. There's a way you can launch them to yourself, or you can let them jump into you. If your child's jumping into the pool, never, ever, ever, ever catch them before they fall. Let them come in. Let them go for it. They have to get completely under the water before you present the hand to pick up, or you lift them up. If you are catching them, you're rewarding them with air before they hit the water. And that's very unrealistic if they were to fall in by themselves. So a lot of times, this most likely occurs in boys. I've seen, and the statistics show this as well, is that they're jumping towards the water. They want to get in the water, and we condition them for that. We say that the water is fun, the water is exciting, you can jump in the water, you can swim all you want in the water. But they really get confused with that message. When do I swim? When do I not swim? When is it fun time? When is it not time to play and swim? They don't know those boundaries. So by letting them jump in all the way, even if it is vertical, letting them go over, letting the water go over their head, creating that breath control, they're going to know that I'm not going to be rescued before I hit the water. I'm going to have to work if I want to be rescued. Okay, I either have to rescue myself or I have to find a hand target to be rescued. And that's going to also help create a more healthy balance for them in the water as well, knowing those boundaries and getting some more safety and awareness behind them as well. So presenting them to you and to your hand, sorry, a little tangent there. There are 2 ways to do this. To yourself, under the armpits, ready, set, and under the water is go. And then once you let go, you're usually extended out. You're gonna present hands and lift up. Sometimes I have babies that grab me in the water or want to hold on to me. So then you can go over as well, over the arms. So that creates them from not grabbing you, because if they grab you, then sometimes it's a hot mess and you end up not having that nice horizontal swim. So, and then I, like this, their head's usually up like this. And then, so right here, sorry, baby's legs are supposed to be going up. Ready, set, and to me is go. And once I bring her into the water, I'm gonna let go and present my hand. Now I'm going to be back, but I'm kind of out of the shot, so, and we're not really in the water. I'm gonna link some videos as well to kind of show you, so it doesn't just look like we're playing with the baby doll here. So ready, set, and under the water is go, and present your hand under the water. Now, when baby is underwater, you don't want to, here's the top of the water. You don't want to present your hand here. You want to present your hand low enough, deep enough in the water where your child has to reach for it in the water. If your child's legs are dropping down, that means your hand needs to get lower. So when you get lower and their shoulders go down to reach your hands, their legs are gonna come up and you're gonna get a nicer, smoother swim, okay? And sometimes I use toys with this after they get my hand a few times. I'll use different props and toys. Come get the shark, come get this ring, let's do some diving. and they can jump to me, or I can launch them and present that ring. And once they get the ring, get my hand, or if they're not doing the proper skill that I need them to do, I'm going to pick them up with their hands, okay? And I'm gonna do this over and over and over until this position is more of a horizontal swim position. And the more you do this, the more confidence you're going to build in your swimmer and in yourself, being in the pool with your child. So always rules for the pool. Never let your child swim alone. Always be in the pool with your child within arm's length away. Don't wear puddle jumpers or life vests into the water. I have a different video on when you should wear puddle jumpers and life vests, and it is not at the pool. It is not. I know lots of people promote things that help aid your child in swimming. Your child is your own flotation, it's his own flotation device. They should be relying on themselves in the water, because if they get into a situation where an adult is not present, they're not gonna have that life vest. They're not gonna have that puddle jumper. They're not gonna have those water wings to rely on. They're just gonna have themselves. So you need to create your child or help promote them in a proper swim way so that they can rescue themselves. After I get the child confident in swimming, then I teach them how to get the wall. So if you're up on the ledge, I just ready, set, go, pull them into the water. They splash into the water, turn around, and get the wall. I practice this all the time with my babies. Sometimes they don't need to float to go back to the wall to get to safety. All they need to do is turn around and get the wall. Okay, those are very, very successful swim techniques that I teach all of my children in my program. If you need some resources in your area to find a swim instructor that is survival swim based, then let me know. I can help you. I have tons of resources, tons of people out in the swim world. We all love to connect with each other. And so I have a nice list around the US and in Alaska for survival swim instructors. They're not everywhere. They are scarce, sadly. But if you live in a big major city, then I can probably help you connect with somebody that can help you create those survival skills that you need for your children to succeed in the water. So hopefully, say thanks to Baby, my guest here. Hopefully that was a little bit of help for you. Again, I hope to post some pictures of me in swim lessons and swim class, showing you some of these ways in the water to present air and to create a more successful swim instead of a vertical swim, which is what we don't want. So if you have any questions, you can always comment down below. You can always contact me, Allison, at pediatricsurvivalswim.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Google, Yelp, we're everywhere. So thanks so much, guys. Please let me know if you have any more questions. I really want to make some more videos for those that just can't get into lessons, that don't have swim instructors nearby, that can't afford it, that just, you know, life happens. So you always want to be able to equip yourself with those skills so that you can teach others, so that you can teach your own children how to survive in the water, because it's very, very important. This earth is made up, you know, over 75% water. So they need to learn how to survive. They need to know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you in the next one.